It doesn't
And,
really make
and I
sense
put myself in
because
there too. There's times I do it, then got to go back and correct my own damn self.
The
yeah,
difference.
but you judged yourself, right? Like
No,
you made a judgment on yourself.
You know, I made an assessment on myself
you
because
assess
I
it.
Same
know
thing
that
as judgment.
constantly doing these behavior. Huh?
It's still a judgment.
The
I got
difference.
a base.
the
Go ahead,
difference
Willie.
between judging someone is like just you labeling their character. You assess someone when you evaluate their behavior to make decisions.
Yes.
Judging somebody says this is the kind of person you are. Assessing someone says this is a pattern of behavior that I'm observing. The key thing is the intent and then the outcome behind what you're doing.
Yeah, as far as black women in leadership positions being lousy superiors, the one thing that I hear them use to justify that behavior, they suffer from being a dual minority, and that they have to penetrate challenges from being black and a woman, right? So they have like twice the amount of pressure to prove themselves. But I'm like, if you're gonna be an asshole with your subordinates, that's counterintuitive. I think to the attempts to try to overcome obstacles, because they're not gonna perform in a way that makes you look any good. You're going to be shooting yourself in the foot. In fact, you're going to be worsening or confirming, the stereotypes that kind of sort of back up the fight you have to fight. Oh, you're angry black woman. See, there you go. You know what I mean? I don't understand it.
Hey, Aaron.
Maybe it's an emotional response. Maybe it's like a way to seek catharsis, but do that afterward. Take it out on the weights, man. Don't take it out on your employees.
Have you ever seen these types of women that act like this be happily married and have like happy home lives?
I've seen them married happily. I think is up for speculation. They would say they're happy.
For you, in your opinion, would you say that they're happily married?
They presented happiness in that. Yeah, I mean, they weren't like running around kicking each other's ass, sure. But again, that could be manufactured.
I've been in situations where I've had conversations with folks, and I guess subconsciously you may not realize that you're judging, but like, where do you draw the line at as far as when you communicate with like some women where they tend to get kind of like defensive as far as what it is that you're saying? I think that's a discussion that we probably need to have and see if we can get somewhere with it.
All right, man, that's a good question. And I really think it depends on the relationship that you have with that person. Now, if it's just somebody who you just met and you're trying to have this conversation, I would have probably a short leash, and please don't take it in a derogatory manner, ladies, but I would have a short leash for her because I wouldn't try to go in depth with her, because if I don't have a relationship with her and I don't know her limits, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where it's going to go if she does cross that line or does say something that's going to trigger her or upset her. I don't know. So I'm going to kind of be short with it. And if I see it's going left just a little bit, I'm going to back off and I might just walk away from her because I don't know how she's going to respond. And I don't need them issues. And to me, it's really not worth to keep trying to push the issue with her, especially when I have little to no relationship with her at all. So it depends on that situation. Now, if I have a relationship with her, I'm going to press her, and she knows I'm going to press her because she knows it's me, and that's how I move. And I will be a little harsh, and maybe at times, depending on the situation, I can be overly aggressive with her, if need be, depending on the conversation and what's going to have to be talked about. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I think what you said, you might just walk away. I think it's good to have an exit strategy, just in case things go further left than either of you are capable of covering. I think consistency of disposition is most important. You know what I mean? Like the way you comport yourself, if it's even and doesn't fluctuate either up or down, it kind of just puts a baseline sense of calm over the entire situation, and it removes possibility of seeing you as being someone who's intending to be threatened. Even if it's taken that way, you can't really confirm it in your mind. Person has been even keel, even in times where they may want to become more jovial. Even being even keeled shows that you're not emotionally, making decisions, things like that, and that kind of tends to disarm. But yeah, you gotta have it.
I'll say this: most people aren't good at judging their own damn self. Therefore, fail at judging other people too. And I'm not gonna say I'm perfectly innocent because I grew up on Judgment Avenue, and it's something I've been working on for years and days trying to get better at not doing. But it's in my subconscious mind, just like it's in most people's. But yeah, judgment just ain't the way. That's all I got.
So scam. I don't like that name, but I mean that's what you put. But judgment is not the way.
No.
Are you saying across the board you wouldn't judge anything? I'm just trying to understand how you look at things.
There's judgment that we do. Then there's how we approach things. I'm more talking about how we approach, how we talk to people, that form of judgment as an action. Like the action we take afterwards.
So what's your philosophy on what type of judgment is required? Like how do you
survival?
Only on survival.
Yeah, assessment and judgment. There's a level that you're going to do because you have to. But it's supposed to be, I see something and I believe something to be a certain way, and it'd be backed by.
Do you have children? Real quick.
No.
Okay, so that's why you're not a parent yet. All right, I got you.
Wait, Scam, I got a question. So if in a conversation you find yourself needing to make a correction or to offer advice, how do you do that without first assessing one's strengths and pitfalls? I mean, don't you have to judge in order to make a correction or offer advice?
Well, you're assessing, you're comparing it to something versus just your own judgment. Meaning own judgment just being, you should be feminine. You're supposed to be perfect. What's wrong with you? That's just judgment.
So the difference,
you're taking a standard and just nailing them to some kind of cross on some standard, and you don't know what they got going on.
Like people
versus,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
My bad. I apologize. You finish, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, more the judgment where you're nailing to somebody some kind of cross or some kind of fictional standard. Which I'm gonna be honest, I ain't seen a standard in 58 years. I'm 45. But telling them what they got to do based on it without even assessing who they are, what they said, why they said what they said, where it's going. That's kind of what I'm saying. No assessment, you just slam something out there on them. That makes sense?
No.
Amen.
It doesn't really make sense.
I put myself in there too. There's times I do it, and got to go back and correct my own damn self.
Yeah, but you judged yourself, right? Like you made a judgment on yourself.
No, I made an assessment on myself.
Same thing as judgment.
Doing these
It's still a judgment.
I got a base. Go ahead, Willie.
Judging someone is like you're labeling their character. You assess someone when you evaluate their behavior to make decisions.
Yes.
Somebody says this is the kind of person you are. Assessing someone says this is a pattern of behavior that I'm observing. The key thing is the intent and then the outcome behind what you're doing. So we can't say judging and assessing are not the same thing. But people who use it that way tend to not want to be judged based on something that they've assessed in themselves. For example, women don't want to be judged based on their body count because they know they fucked a bunch of niggas. Niggas don't want to be judged based off of their bank account because they know they don't make enough money. So and they've assessed that. They've assessed that, damn, I don't make enough money to qualify for the type of women that I want. Or with women and saying that their body count, damn, I don't want to be judged for this because I've assessed and know that I will be assessed by others to say, hey, I'm not worthy of dealing with this type of guy because of how many other niggas I've had sex with.
So basically what you're saying is I know you said what you said. I'm getting clarification. I'm just asking, right? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking. Are you saying that judgment comes first, then you make the assessment?
No.
Okay.
No, they're individual. They're individual things. You can assess someone's behavior without knowing anything about them, but it will require knowledge of the person to judge them.
I don't want to sit next to this person.
Okay.
I don't want to sit next to this person because they stink.
So then, would you?
That's an assessment.
But Aaron, Big Aaron, to your point, if you didn't know a person and you can't really judge it. Once you get to know them, then would you judge it? Then make an assessment once you get to know them?
Well, I think depending on the advice that needs to be given or the correction that needs to be made, yeah, you absolutely will be in a position where you need to judge.
Okay,
wait,
all right.
wait.
I got you.
I
All
think
right,
these
I got you.
examples are kind of confusing.
I thought judging is actually when you don't know the person and you just make an assumption about the person.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Not when
saying.
you do. Oh, okay. Not when you do know the
Well,
person. When you know the
wait,
person,
No, like
you make
Willie's
an
example
assumption.
of the person stinking. If you
Yeah,
look at somebody and say, you look like you stink, that's a
yeah,
judgment.
that's
But
a
if you
judgment.
smell them
Okay,
and they're
That's a,
just cooking and lighting
that's what
up
I
the
was
room,
thinking. Because
that's an
that's a
assessment.
speculative assumption.
Wait a second. Wait a second. That's
Hold
not.
on,
yeah,
y'all. We
that's
talking over
That's
each other.
not
We got to
judging.
do one mic, y'all, because they can't hear us.
That's
My
not
problem.
what it is. So sitting next to someone that stink is like saying, okay, saying someone looks like they stink is judging them. But then sitting next to someone and finding out they stink and then saying, you know what? You probably don't take baths because you've seen that their hands are dirty, their clothes are dirty, they don't brush their teeth, and that their ears are dirty. You are assessing them to be someone with poor hygiene.
exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah, we're saying
So,
the same thing.
so you're saying that judgment is akin to an assumption or
Yes.
speculation.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't have no data, you just making like some people go say, "Oh man, you a bad person." You don't have no data of how whatever livelihood this individual went through. You judging them without even having enough data. But once you assess them and you see, damn, their car broke down, this happened, that man. Okay, maybe not a bad person. Maybe you're just going through some hard time because based on all the data that I have received about you,
So
then
then
you
that would
assess
be
them.
Y'all
would that
realize
be
we are
judgment then?
getting
Would that be
off
judgment then?
the
No, it
question.
won't be
We
judgment.
are
Then it's now
totally
you're
getting off the question,
assessing it.
guys.
You
Guys,
No,
know,
guys,
after you
guys, straight
make
like that, straight like that. Can you hear me?
yeah,
We
go
are
ahead,
getting off
brother.
the question. We are getting off the goddamn question. Can we get back on the question, DJ? I thought it was a great question. So
Yeah,
let's
it
get
is a
back on
great
it.
question.
Because now we're trying to define what judgment is, and now we're just getting way off.